Thank you for joining us today. I'm not that interested as the topic we have. Come in. Hello, how are you doing? So yeah, I'm a senior team lead at the HypeFactory agency. My name is Karyna, and just let's start. Okay, just a quick reminder that the influence marketing is doing really, really great. It's growing every year, and during the next decade, we're expecting even more money. And the main promises market right now is the US and mainly English-speaking countries with the rich Europe. Hello. And obviously in Asia. Asia also doing really, really great. It's really huge. It's growing every day. They have a lot of mobile users that using, also not me, that using mobile internet and mobile devices every day for 5 or 6 hours a day, and this is really great for like a gaming industry and the influence marketing. This also not was me. I'm very sorry. They have like a constant grade also as a global of the micro influencers, which is good because a lot of new creators want to be a part of the influence marketing market business, and some of them will become some great macro influencers and will create new trends as well in the region. The very, very important thing that you have to remember about the Asia, it's not the different planets. It works according to the same rules as we are working globally. And so there is just some very important things that you have to keep in mind if you want to run. I guess we have some glitch. If you want to run successful campaigns. I'm very sorry. Maybe the battery is just going down. I don't know. So just several points that you should keep in mind if you want to run successful campaign in Asia and anytime in every other country. So you should have a good analytical background and some good analytical tools. You should know who is your target audience, what they're looking for, what they like, and so on. You should know what your competitors do, what they already did, and what you can do better than them. Also, you should bring some authentic content with your product to the audience because they will like it very much. And like the biggest advice, as we always get when you go into the new market, is to mix some micro and macro influencers in your media plan. And have some maybe big big influencers that can just blow up your product and bring you some viral effects. But influencer marketing in Asia has some nuances, and let's talk about them. Long planning cycles. Knock, knock, I have some money for you. Can I run my campaign next week, please? No, 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 no. Not in Asia. You should have at least 3 weeks for a planning cycle, just because the things is working there like that, especially in such countries as South Korea and Japan. And 3 weeks is just a minimum period of time that creators ask you for creating their content and go through all the processes from the script to the draft video. Not all the ad formats are widespread in the Asia countries. For example, if you are thinking that you're going to buy some integrations in Japan for yourself because it's very effective and cheaper, obviously, than full review videos, you will be surprised that in Japan, influencers do not work with such format as integrations. It's very, very rare thing, and it's really difficult to find someone who will do that for you. So the case studies in Japan, from our experience in this campaign for the cross-platform RPG, we launched a campaign where the 95% of the 95 maybe do you have some other thing? I don't know. Because it's always just going to the next slide without my permission. 95% of local influencers agreed to create full review videos for us, and just maybe 2 of them were able to offer us integrations only. And also their planning cycle was very, very long. 1.5 months in advance just to start launch our videos on YouTube, and actually really good timing, because sometimes it can take even 2 or even 2.5 months. Influencers have a significant amount of negotiation power. So influencers in Asia have more influence on their audience. That's why this makes them a little bit picky when they try to pick some brands to collaborate with, because this is a very common thing. Hello. This is a very common thing in Asian countries, like cultural aspects, that they try to think about their face, their honor, the things that they're doing on the social media very, very deeply, because they could be cancelled very easily. So this is like one of the things why all this process of agreement takes so long time. Another case study is from South Korea, just an example of how we run like a really small campaign on YouTube for the cross-platform shooter game for 10 influencers, but as well it took us some 1.5 months for negotiations, because we were rejected with the game a couple of times, so we should have had some plan B. And also, you should just keep in mind that when you're working with Asia, there is a very strict regulation, and you will not have a lot of opportunities to make some changes in your draft videos before publications after you approve the script. So if you approve the script like it is, it will be like it is till the end. So just keep it in mind. Language, culture play an important role. Would be really great if your product could have some cultural events, backgrounds for holidays in the region that you go into. That will help you a lot to interact locals to your product. And also just keep in mind that English as a language of communication is not really good all the time. You obviously need some multilingual team that will work with the influencers and with the talent agencies on the native languages. And yeah, and this will just... Oh, you think so? Okay. So, yeah. You will be surprised, but sometimes you will not be able to buy some separate posts on the Twitter or Facebook in Asian countries, because it's just a part of the package deal. Especially in Japan, you just cannot go there and say, "What I saw this creator is like very, very popular. I want to have a post on the Twitter." No, you should buy a very expensive YouTube integration or full review video, and then probably they will, as a package deal, give you a Twitter post as well. Of course, you can offer them more money if you really need that, but just think twice. Is it worth it? I don't think so. If your goal is the best performance, so you obviously need to work with the Let's try, because I'm a bit sad about this. Oh no, we just go and I don't push it even. It's just glitching. Okay. So if you would like to go with the integration, YouTube is your best and first place option. TikTok for viral effect is the second option, and for gaming streaming, it depends on the country you're going to. So it could be Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook gaming. Just pick one that is gonna be best for you and where you can find or the most the most amount of influencers, or you work with the best features. We work with the Twitch because it has very special features that Facebook cannot offer, and it was very important for the event that we were streaming with this game. And also, I just forgot to mention with all of this situation that this example has some information on the below, the same same slides, and those that you saw before and those that you will see, these just have the overall total result on the campaign. So you can just screen it for you, just know what to expect. What we don't recommend to use in Asia, it's Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for different reasons. Twitter is very big in Asia, especially in Japan. But as I said, it could be just a package deal for you, so it will not work in this case. Facebook is better for user acquisition, and Instagram is not the best for the game promotion itself, just it. Not all countries in Asia are big as China, so most of them, even with the big population, has very limited influencers that they're eligible for working with. Let's just have a look. So the criteria on the left and the graphic on the right just show you that, for example, in Korea, the YouTube influence, it's just not working. The YouTube influence, the YouTube influencers is that you could work with, and they're very stable with the good target audience is less than 5K, and same as for other countries. And Instagram is obviously bigger because it's just easier to become an influencer on Instagram. So. Case studies from the Philippines. With this game, we run campaign ongoing from months to months for already 6 months. So it's really common thing to go back to the top performing influencers after 2 or 3 months and just repeat your integration. And this will not go down your results. It will work same as it was because some brilliant channels could work with you for a year or 2 or even 3 years. So different countries has different life expenses that you should spend in this country. So obviously the budget for them will be different. There are a couple of countries with an easy mode where the budget, I will just sit down, where the budget is the lowest and there are the indicators as the cheapest. This is Thailand, Indonesia, and Philippines. Next we have a normal mode for the Taiwan, Hong Kong. The budget is a little bigger, but all the indicators is still fine. It's different for male and female audience, obviously, and female audience is always like a constant, always more expensive. Normal mode is also for South Korea with the budget a little bit increased in comparison with Taiwan. Hard mode, suddenly Malaysia. If you would like to go to this small region, you just have to be prepared that the prices will be higher than in other Asian countries. This is just how it's worked. And extra hard mode, Japan. The most expensive country in the region. And all nuances that we're going to talk about in this presentation, you will face all of them in Japan, and it's not negotiable. You should work with the talent agencies. There's had very strict monopoly there, and that's why you should just follow their rules. And a case study from Hong Kong and Taiwan that we launched on YouTube for mobile strategy game, just to show you that from our own experience, these regions are the best to start in Asia. They have the best terms of cost and effectiveness all the time, and every time we launched a new game, it was they had a really good results. Thank you very much. I hope you find something new for yourself or maybe something interesting. I can go back to some slide of presentation if you have questions, because it was really messy a little bit. Very sorry about that. So thank you.
One. Sorry for this some inconvenient situation, but I don't know what
Very
it
stressful.
was. Yeah, a little bit, yes. But it was nice. Thank you for your presentation. Maybe you have some questions. Yeah.
Hello, thank you for the presentation. It was quite nice, even though you had some difficulties here. So I have a question: how, in comparing, for example, with South Korea, and Europe Union, how it's more expensive to make influencer marketing there? Like, what should be kind of like how much more money or in percentage we should have more in South Korea comparing with I don't know, like Sweden or Europe Union?
It depends on what country we're gonna compare
Like South
with.
Korea, for example.
I mean, with the European Union, because we have like rich and expensive countries as Germany and France.
Like Germany, okay.
Germany. It will be mostly the same. Germany is one of the most like expensive countries in the world for influence marketing. It's even more expensive than the US, for example, and kind of like Japan. But South Korea will be on the same level. So just keep in mind that, yeah, this is the budget you should have as the minimum. If you would like to have a good analytical basement after the campaign, so you can analyze what was good, what was bad, what you should do next. So this is the minimum budget you can work with. You see, it's just... So this is what you should work with. Of course, the campaign could be not that you can run campaign even for 15K or 20K, but the results that you will have, you will work only with probably 3 or 5 influencers, just not enough to understand what is going on there and what will work for you in the future.
So I assume, like in Korea, the main platform probably would be Kakao, right? Like
this is a messenger, but yeah. If you would like to work with the influencers, it's YouTube and Instagram. But for the games, it's basically YouTube.
Understood. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the questions. More questions? Anybody? Yeah.
Thank you. My question is, how often comparing, for example, let's take Germany, how often do you receive reject from influencers on a game, for example?
This is that I didn't mention. So this is a very common thing for Asian countries to the talent agencies or influencers themselves just offer you an estimated price. So you come there for the offer, you say like, this is our game, this is our lunch time, etc. And they give you just an estimated price. And only after you as a client confirm that you want to work with this influencer for 100%, they will just go back to the influencer again and he will decide, does he has some free time in his schedule to work with it? During this time, is it actually the good product for his channel and his audience, etc., etc.? On this level, you could be rejected for any of those reasons. It's not because your product is bad, just because they don't have time, or probably they think they will not be able to come up with some creative idea for integration and so on. And you should start again. That's why the process is so long. Obviously, Asia. Yeah, because they're very, as I said, they're very picky. They just try to think twice. Would it be nice to work with the product? For example, dating apps. If you have a dating app product, you will be rejected many times because it's very. They will be very shy to work with your product because it's a dating app. For example, in South Korea, in Japan, like just. Some of the channel categories will be agreed to work with you, and maybe they will have some adult content, probably. And you won't be able to work with the influencers you really like, and this with the same portrait that you work, for example, in the US and in the Europe. Just deal with it. That's it.
More questions?
Hi. Yeah, thanks for a very interesting presentation. I'm quite curious, like on the CPI that you have written here, because like for me, as my understand, it's quite high, to be honest. So I'm quite curious, like what type of games actually you are promoting, like for this type of campaign, and also like you also mentioned, like for example, like in Malaysia, you say it's like quite expensive, but in my experience before, it's kind of like the price always like 1/3 compared with Taiwan or Hong Kong. So I'm also curious, like, is the same game or maybe something around
It's a very, very, very good question. It always also depends on the product. If it's very popular title, for example, and there will be very good for influencer to promote it because it's on the hype, have some viral videos in other countries and so on, the cost will be, of course, it's not me. The cost will be, of course, less than on the average table that I show you. But if we're talking about some new titles that no one knows, you go into Azure for the first time, probably it's a mobile game like a Match 3 or some RPG that they're just starting their way. So probably as for the new product, they would like to work with you because they would like to have some money for advertisement. But the price will be a little bit high because they maybe have some other offers for from other sponsors, and that's why who will offer for this period of time more money, those will get the free space in the schedule. So it's really, really depends on the product as well.
I also have like one more question regarding the revenue tracking. So for example, like when you launch any influencing campaign, for example, like on YouTube, so it's always like, okay, they share some content of your product and they probably like put a link under, on the description or something.
Sure.
And ask you to click it. But like, it's always like a lot of people, they just watch the video, but they never click this download link. They probably like just search, okay, they know the title of the name, so they try to search it on somewhere, probably they just download directly. So like how you measure this part?
This is some, we have kind of tricks to increase the CTR and CR level at the end of the day, same as the tracking links under the video, as well as the QR codes, different widgets under the description or in the video. Probably we will decide that it's better to run some creative integrations because this creator has particular artistic skills and how do you measure organic traffic? Oh, I'm very sorry. I didn't hear properly. So it's better to launch your campaign in 3 days, and we will obviously see some boost of the organic traffic. And if you don't work with the other traffic sources, as for example user acquisition videos, then it obviously will belong to all the influencers that are running campaign for you during this time.
Cool, thank you. Thank you for mentioning my country many times. I'm happy on that.
More questions, or last question from my side. When you go to different countries, you should prepare your own vision of integration, or you can rely on the bloggers. How the question about creativity in different regions and how it's work?
First of all, you should definitely rely on the influencers you're working with. They obviously, most of them have some very creative ideas, and in Asia sometimes it's like really crazy. The sense of humor is different, so the jokes, the memes, the vibes, the TikTok they use, it's very, very, very local. You will probably don't know them. So you should send just a basic brief to the influencer and discuss with them, we want a funny contact. So please just, what is your advice for us? Maybe let's joke about something, some hype topics and so on and so on. Yeah. So it's really, really depends on the influencer as well. Plus you have some kind of a sense of understanding what will work with your target audience as well, and you just sum up it together and come up with a good content.
So that's all. Thank you very much for your
Thank you.
presentation.